Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today is day number 1 of the X's and O's readathon, and I thought we would start at the beginning. We would start with which books are on my TBR. So the first book that I'm going to talk to you about is Authentically Izzy by 𝒑𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒔𝒕. I am reading this for the prompt of read a book with pink on the cover because I'm on Team O. Go Team O! This book is about our main character named Izzy, who is set up in an online dating community by her cousin, and she ends up finding Mr. Right. But then she bumps into this guy named Eli that comes into her library, and she begins to have feelings for him as well. So I wasn't aware going in that this author has written like many more novels. I'm more into the contemporary romance than the historical romance. So if you've read other books by this author, let me know in the comment section down below. The next prompt is Friends to Lovers trope, and I am hoping to read Booked on a Feeling by Jessie Lee. I honestly don't know too much about this book. There's an overachieving lawyer, a failing bookstore, a childhood friend, and the chance of a lifetime. Then I am going to be reading Set on You. Well, I already did read this book and I'll talk to you about it in a minute, but Set on You by Amy Lea, which is the author of the group buddy read X's and O's. So I'm actually going to be starting with X's and O's today. I was hoping to get a jump start on my TBR and read the first book in the influencer series, and I did. I finished it yesterday. I read it in 2 sittings. Y'all, this book is so freaking cute. I'm rating it 5 out of 5 stars. I could be picky and give it 4 stars because there were like several pop culture references, and there were like, it has the classic like, I don't know, conflict part and stuff like that, and it did make sense, but I loved the representation, I loved the couple, I loved the steaminess, and I just flew through it. It was so easy to read and so enjoyable. So if you are joining us to read this one and you haven't read this one, I would highly recommend you go back and read this one. It does have in the very beginning, it has a great dedication. It has an author's note that is actually worth the read, and it lists the content warnings in here: fat phobia, cyberbullying, references to racism, fitness, diet culture, and cancer. And I loved the author's note like so much. You could tell this was like such an important story for the author to tell, and I just absolutely loved it with my whole heart. So because I enjoyed this one like so much, I have high expectations for X's and O's. And also I thought it was funny too. Like, I know a lot of books claim that they're like rom-coms, which means they're romantic comedies, but like this one was actually funny, and I can't wait to jump in this and get to know Tara because I got to know her a little bit in this one. So I'm really excited to read her book, but that's kind of where we are with my TBR. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on X's and O's, and tonight we have Reading Sprints and Games, so I'm almost hoping to finish this tonight or tomorrow. I'm not trying to pressure myself too much, but anyways, welcome to the X's and O's reading vlog. Okay, so I am on page 87, chapter 10. So I've made it a good bit in. I thought I would tell you about this and also compare it a little bit to the first book, Set on You. I will say initially, those first, 80 some pages, I was liking this more at that point than I am liking this. That's not to say I'm not liking this, I'm just liking this one more. This one, we'll start with Set on You since it's the first one. It follows a curvy plus size fitness influencer named Crystal, and she's working out at the gym doing her thing as she normally does, and this guy Scott comes up and steals her equipment that she like had her stuff beside. So she cleaned off her equipment, she moved to another area, put her stuff down, went and grabbed some water, and when she was done getting water, she came over and there was this guy that was using her equipment, and she was like, I was using that. And it starts off kind of like an enemies thing, but it's not really. It doesn't last very long at all. It very quickly becomes, like there's something between them, and I love that. It also has other elements to the story. Her grandmother is getting married to this guy named Marty, and Scott is that guy's grandson, just like she is like her grandmother's granddaughter. So they kind of meet in that way, and their families are kind of like tied together in that way. So they're a little hesitant to go into a relationship together because like obviously they want their grandparents to be happy, and they don't want to start a relationship and then it like be awkward for the family type thing. It's a lot about them like coming to terms with like, no, we really do like each other, like let's be together. But then like things happen, there's like a conflict of course and stuff like that, but like through it all it was like their family was so cute, they were so cute, and I just adored it like beginning to end. And I related a lot to Crystal, even though I am definitely not a fitness influencer, and I'm not as confident in my body as she is, but I think there's something to be said about that, about how she talks about body positivity, and she kind of like learns a lesson in a way and grows as a person throughout the story because of things that happened. And I really loved it. You would think that I would identify more with Tara, who is a bookstagrammer. She has a book talk and things like that, but she's a little like, as a person I identify with her more, and like her personality and stuff is like a bit over the top and stuff like that. The writing, the characters, the pacing are all the same, obviously. So I really do appreciate that. I don't know, everything is tied back to books and romance books specifically. And I don't know if it's because I'm like in that space myself that I find it a little cringe, but also it's kind of cute. It is reminding me a lot of To All the Boys That I Loved Before. You know how Laura Jean puts letters in a hat box and about the guys that she was with before, and she kind of it's like her way to close that chapter on her life, and she puts the letters in this hat box, and then all of a sudden this all of these letters get sent out to all the guys that she's loved before. Well, in this one, Tara is reaching out to like all of her old exes to kind of like see if there's anything there, like a second chance romance. She's trying to create her own second chance romance, and obviously it's not going well. But I will say it's also reminding me a little bit of Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren. So a little bit Jenny Han, a little bit Christina Lauren, and you have this book. And I do enjoy it, but for some reason I'm not 5-star loving it like I was this one. So it definitely has a chance to like turn around and get better. But I will say, friends, guess what just came in the mail? my book of the month box, and I thought I would go ahead and open it up with you guys since you don't often see me open it up on camera unless I'm vlogging. So I actually picked 2 books this month because it's my birthday month, which means I got my birthday credit. So I did a main pick and then I did a birthday add-on, and I'm excited about both of these. Last year I did a really good job of keeping up with my book of the month books, and I have not read my January picks yet, and I do have a few that I have picked up from the book exchange with store credit, so I definitely need to do a little bit of a catch up with my book of the months. But I have a plan. In April, along with my patrons, we're doing a book of the month clear out month. So all throughout the month of April, I'm gonna only be reading books from book of the month. So I'm very excited about that. I'm not trying to save these until April. I actually hope to get to some of them before April, but if I don't, I'm going to do a catch up in April. So if you are also behind on your book reading your book of the month copies, definitely join my Patreon, which is always linked down below. I mean, that's not the only reason to join. There's tons of other stuff going on, but that is a super fun event that's coming up in April. So you can either join for $5 or $7. There's different perks for each tier, but I call my patrons the night owls because I love owls, and how fitting is that? But yeah, so let me go ahead and open up my box and show you what I got for February. So my main pick was The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz. I do like this cover. I don't see many books going with the neon font, but I love that. Very cool. This kind of the forest kind of reminds me of the picture behind my bed. This takes place at a writer's retreat. Alex has all but given up on her dreams of becoming a published author when she receives a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to attend an exclusive month-long writing retreat at the estate of a feminist horror writer, 𝒍𝒊𝒏𝒌𝒔. Even the knowledge that Ren, her former best friend and current rival, is attending doesn't dampen her excitement. So she goes, and it's a claustrophobic, propulsive thriller exploring the dark side of female relationships and fame. Okay, I am intrigued. And then I had to add on Georgie All Along. Yeah, Georgie All Along by Kate Claiborne. I love this cover so much. And look at the back. Oh my gosh, so cute. This is a heartfelt tale of one woman's quest to reinvent herself, and it delivers a poignant, witty reflection on how the hopes, dreams, and stories of our past shape our future. Nice. I'm so excited about this. I think that is so cute. This is what the back of that one looks like. But yeah, these are the books that I got, and I'm excited to read both of them.
The word is lobster. So a book with a sea animal on it.
On it?
Does Hook, Line, and Sinker have a sea animal on it?
That's what I was thinking
Oh, the
of.
Unlikely Sea Creatures? Or what's that book?
Yeah. I just don't think
I
I'm
want to
gonna
say
get
Our
this
Wives
one.
Under the Sea, but that doesn't have anything on the cover.
Big Fish.
Oh, I love that movie.
That's a good-
the Pisces.
Okay.
Sandra just told me to read that book.
Finding Nemo.
Oh no.
What's this?
Oh,
Okay.
The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway.
Oh, that's a terrible book.
But it has I'm sorry, but it has an animal. What about Jaws?
Or like Moby
That's a
Dick.
backup answer.
Moby
Okay.
Dick. Yeah.
I'll
okay.
give that.
I failed. Sorry.
Y'all are 5 to 5. It's like XO, XO.
I just finished X's and O's and I enjoyed it. I really did like it, but I didn't like it as much as 𝒎𝒊𝒏𝒌𝒔. The main character was a little bit over the top, but I don't know. Do I want to give it 4? Do I want to give it 5? I don't know. I think maybe 4 stars. I feel like it was a little bit of an injustice reading the first one first, but like that's how you would normally read it. I don't know. I'm gonna sit and think on my thoughts. I'm gonna grab a snack. I'm gonna come back from sprints. I'm gonna talk about the book with the ladies, and then I will update you on what I'm reading next. Good morning, friends. Happy day 2 of X's and O's. I thought I would do a little recap of last night. The live show was so much fun. As always, everybody comes to the comments and is absolutely hilarious, keeps us on our toes, and the games were fun, and I got a lot of reading done. So I actually finished X's and O's by Amy Lea, which is the second book in the influencer rom-com series, and I'm rating this one 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I just enjoyed it a little bit less than Set on You by Amy Lea, which I absolutely loved. It's hard talking about like why I didn't like this one as much as the first one without talking about the first one. So the first one, I could be picky and have nitpicky things about it. The pop culture references, the conflict, and this one almost had like a double conflict going on, but I really identified with the main character, her being curvy, and the whole body positivity movement and diet culture and like all of these things. I really just identified with her, and I really liked Scott as well. And I feel like their romance was kind of spread out over the entire novel rather than just like at the end. If I was going to be picky, I could already rate this like a 4, 4.5. See, I don't do half stars. I only do whole star ratings. So if I was going to be picky and take off stars, it would be like a 4 stars. But is this up to the level of Part of Your World? No. But standing on its own, I absolutely love it. So I'm giving it 5 stars. I had such a fun time reading it. I flew through this book and I just like couldn't put it down, and I will never stop raving about it. So that's why I gave this one 5 stars. And the reason why I gave this one 4 stars is all of the things that I could be nitpicky about in the other book were also present in this book. Plus, I thought the main character, Tara, was a little bit over the top, especially for her being the older sister. And then also the romance between her and Trevor took much longer to develop. And I understand that, and like all rom-coms aren't going to be the same. Like I said, this one reminded me a lot of To All the Boys I Loved Before and Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. So if you liked this one, you definitely need to check out those 2 books for sure. Suffice it to say, I am definitely going to be continuing on in the series. In the back of this book, it does talk about the next book in... It's going to be Mel's love story, and it's called The Catch. So, and it comes out, I don't remember when, maybe, I don't know. All I know is that I definitely want to continue in this series because I absolutely love her writing. It's so easy to get into. I love her characters. I love the diversity. I love just everything about it. I feel like she knows the things that she's writing about. Like, I feel like the author has to be a curvy plus size influencer. And I also feel like she has to be a big, huge book nerd, because I just felt so seen by both of these characters. So that's enough about them. I could go on and on for days. We are doing the book discussion later on in the week, so I don't really want to keep harping about it, but definitely check out that book discussion. I will try to link it down below in case you happen to have missed it, so you can hear not only my thoughts but everybody else's thoughts as well. And so I decided, I asked the audience if they wanted me to read Booked on a Feeling or Authentically Izzy, and everybody said Booked on a Feeling by Jessie Lea. What I did not know when I added this to my wish list and when I asked last night is that this is the third book in a series. I'm terrible at that. So, I mean, obviously I don't have to read the other 2 books because they follow like different characters and stuff like that. But I feel like those characters might pop up in this book and I'm not gonna know them. I'm gonna read it. I'm hoping I enjoy it. I only made it 34, 35 pages in, and initially, you know, not loving this as much, because it starts off with Lizzie, you know, she's already a lawyer, she's already working at this prestigious law firm, but she's trying to become partner, and she's actually going to her first trial ever, and she ends up passing out, like having a panic attack and passing out at a pivotal moment during, like, when she's going to give her opening remarks or something like that. And her friend Jack Park, like, is there and is like, oh my goodness, and like everything's fine. She ends up winning the case. Those 30th pages were just like setting up her being a lawyer, so it doesn't immediately feel rom-com, you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit more of a setup. So untraditional, I would say, setup to a rom-com, but I'm excited to read this and share more of my thoughts as I continue it today. It is fairly short. It's only 310 pages, so it is fairly short, so I should be able to finish this today, which is good because I'm not going to have as much reading time tomorrow. So anyway, I will share more of my thoughts on this. Right now, I need to move it to my computer so I can watch Jessie's reading wrap up like live that she does, where she goes through her stats and the books she read and all of that. So I will catch you guys later, but I just wanted to say good morning. Hello friends, I have my headphones on, so I'm probably talking a little too loud, but that's okay. I am eating my breakfast, an egg and cheese bagel sandwich, as always. I have my coffee, of course, and I am tuning in to Jessie's monthly wrap-up live show, where she goes through her stats, the book she read, and all of that. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, so I think she's going to try to do these monthly. So definitely check her out. Definitely keep your eye out when she does these because they're a lot of fun. A little different than I do mine, but I love that she adapted it and didn't do the exact same thing, you know? But I'm here, I'm ready. I've got about 2.5 minutes to go. Let's do this. I did my book reviews for Set on You and X's and O's. I'm sticking with a 5 stars and a 4 stars, and now I'm gonna jump into Booked on a Feeling, which I wish I would have known it was the 3rd book in a series, but here we are. This is the one that, of the synopsises of the book, this is the one I'm most interested in. This is a Korean American story. The author, I believe, is Korean American. But yeah, I'm excited to jump back in. I'm only on page 34. So I also got this book from my patron and friend Marlene for Christmas. So I'm really excited about that. And then maybe if I love this, maybe I'll go back and get the first books in a series. Oh, one more little task I wanted to do before I started reading is I have these books set on my bookshelf in this room where my bookshelves are. Like, my bookshelves are here, but I have these books kind of set like this, and it's kind of, okay, so I'm just going to be transparent. This room is really chaotic. So this is my filming space, my guest bedroom. I have, you know, my lights in here, my tripods in here, my TBR shelf, and then obviously my red shelf, but I also have my book of the month books over here stacked on the side just because I'm out of space. I have books books up there that are for my podcast. I have books all the way at the top right here for a collection of my Patricia Cornwell books. So it's just kind of overwhelming because I have like those books, like I said, books up here on the chair that are books that I need to haul for a video. The books, not the bag goes with the haul books. So these are ones I need to haul and the bag. These on the floor right here are the 23 books I want to read in 2023. And then I also have books over here in this area. I have my February TBR here. I have books that I have out from the library here. And then that little stack over there are books that I need to unhaul. And then also over on the ground over there, I have another stack of like books that I'm getting rid of. They're just like old children's books for my classroom library that I'm getting rid of. But like literally I'm just like overwhelmed with how many, like I just have books literally everywhere. And it's getting overwhelming. So what I'm going to do, oh, I didn't tell you. So these books are all for video ideas for March or like moving forward throughout the year. I have like these books are for a video. These books are for a video, you know, that sort of thing. But I thought what I could do to organize it a little bit better and do this for my 23 books I want to read in 2023 is take a picture of the books, like lay them out on my carpet and on my phone, take a picture and say, these are the books for whatever, you know, like lay out my 23 books and say, these are the 23 books I want to read in 2023. So just have a picture on my phone and then that way I can actually put the books on my shelf and they won't be scattered around the room. These are the books. So I just need to take a picture of this and I know these are the books that I need to read for 23 and 23. Okay, friends, ignore my hair, but I have a couple of updates. The first update is that I got all of the books off my floor. I mean, except for the ones that I am donating. That whole pile over there is donate stuff. And these aren't all on the floor anymore, any of the books that I'm hauling this month, but all of the books are off the floor there. All of the books are off this table. All of the books are missing from here. You know where they are? They're on the couch. So that's how many books I had sprinkled around this room and that I need to put up. So I'm going to be organizing my TBR shelf in a little bit, maybe this shelf a little bit as well. But I also wanted to share some fun like X's and O's treats that I got for this week. Unfortunately, one I already ate. I ate this whole bag last night during reading sprints. It was so good. I got all of these from Target, so I don't know if they're still gonna be there, but they were really delicious. This is the Valentine Crunchy Clusters with pretzels, caramel, white drizzle, and sprinkles. Y'all, these were so good. Like I could eat my weight in this. I mean, they were very, very hard because it's like a hardish caramel with the pretzels and all of that, but they were so delicious. I also got these adorable little gummies. They're X's and O's gummies at Target. Strawberry, pineapple, and grape gummies. Red velvet shortbread cookies, which, how cute are these? Hot raspberry, hot drink bomb. It's raspberry flavored, but it's a pink heart. And then when you put it in your cup, it makes a pink hot chocolate. And it has marshmallows and like little sprinkles. So I'm very, very excited about that. My day has taken a little bit of a turn, dealing with some things with my mother-in-law. So we're gonna have to bring her dog to our house tonight, which should be interesting because it's a big dog that really never leaves my mother-in-law's house. Pray for me. Is what I'm saying. Pray for me. So yeah, that's going on. But in the reading world, I have made it about 50% of the way. I'm like at 49. So 50% basically through Booked on a Feeling. And to be completely honest, I'm just not enjoying this one as much as I have other romance books. I think this one is fine for what it is. It does follow some Korean American love interests, their childhood best friends, and you can sort of kind of see their friendship, but not enough. And I don't like the way it's written because, like, in the middle of a chapter, instead of it being truly like dual POV, it's kind of like all mixed up into one chapter, where you're listening to her and then all of a sudden you'll be in his thoughts and his head and they'll be back in hers, and it's a little hard to follow, especially if you're listening to it only on audiobook. I don't know if there's different narrators. I just started listening to it on audiobook. Yeah, there's only one narrator, Cindy K. So I mean, it's hard to tell sometimes when you're switching POVs, even though you are switching POVs within the chapter. I'm only 50% through, so it definitely could pick up, but I don't see myself rating this very highly. Like, it's not going to be a new all-time favorite. But if you like sweet small town romances, if you like childhood friends to lovers, if you like the idea of them working in this bookstore together, which I actually had the synopsis a little wrong. She's in LA, she's a big fancy lawyer, she's trying to make partner, she wins her first case, and then she takes 3 weeks off. And she goes back to her small town where she spent her childhood summers with her best friend Jack. But she doesn't know about his decades-long crush on her. And he's trying to keep that a secret. When Lizzie decides that the local bookstore needs a little revamp, she's helping the bookstore owner like revamp her store. She kind of says, hey Jack, you want to help me out with this? And he says yes. So they're kind of like working on this to-do list to help revamp this local bookstore in her small town. So the more time they spend together, the harder it becomes to ignore that there might be just more than friendship amongst the dusty shelves and books. And I really don't feel their chemistry, if I'm being completely honest. I just feel a little detached from this book, but I think it's fine. I'm gonna finish it and then, you know, watch the movie tonight still, but I'm also gonna have the dog over here, so it's gonna be a little crazy this afternoon. Hello friends, welcome to day 3 of the X's and O's readathon. I'm about to make my sweet treat to take a picture for Instagram, and I'm gonna make this hot drink bomb. It's raspberry flavored, but it's like a pink hot cocoa, and I just thought it would make a really cute picture in my glass mugs. So I'm gonna whip this up. It says 1.5 cups milk, drop it in, let it dissolve. Okay, so that's what we're gonna make. Let me get the milk. Of course, we don't have enough milk, so that's not gonna work. So that will have to wait for another day, but I'm really excited about it. In there. So I do have those delicious little cookies, and maybe I could just have like a regular coffee. I'm fighting the white balance on this, you guys. Now it's too dark. Okay, we're just gonna have to deal with my camera settings right now because I'm backlit. I bought all of these snacks so I could have the cutest little treat picture. I had the little shortbread cookies, and I even put whip and pink sprinkles on my coffee. But you know what? I feel disgusting today. I don't feel like taking a picture. None of the picture ideas that I had were working out, so I'm just not gonna force myself to do it. So we're gonna skip the Instagram prompt today, which upsets me because I'm co-hosting this readathon and I need to set the example. Maybe something will come to me later. I don't know. I'm just kind of dealing with some stress right now. Today is a podcast day, so later on tonight I will be recording with Jordan for our celebrity book club discussion, editing that because Monday I have reading sprints for the readathon. Wednesday I have the book discussion. Thursday I have my chiropractor appointment. Friday I'm hosting a movie night, and then it's the weekend, and then the episode goes up. So I'm just kind of pressed for time. And I also have all of these books that I need to read before Monday as well. Like not only what I'm reading for this readathon, but some other books as well. So I'm gonna try to push through Authentically Izzy by Pepper Basham today. I did start this one last night, but I was super distracted because I did finish Booked on a Feeling, which I'll have to wrap that up another time. I'm just gonna call today a wash because I have a lot of things going on in my personal life and I don't really feel comfortable sharing right now. Maybe in the future. But I'm just gonna skip vlogging today because I'm not in the right headspace and I'm not really having a great day, and I have a lot of pressure on me to get a lot of things done, and that makes it worse. So I will check in with you guys tomorrow, which is gonna be a much better day, and we'll go from there. Getting ready to record a podcast episode, headphones, laptop, computer, mic, drink, phone, all necessary. So me and Jordan wrapped up recording. Now I'm going to edit. So Jordan and I wrapped up recording, so I have that here. And I have Keisha and Gabby doing some reading sprints here, so they're gonna keep me occupied while I work on this. Welcome to day 4 of X's and O's. Tonight we have another round of reading sprints on Jessie's channel, which I'm really looking forward to because I did not make much progress in my current read, Authentically Izzy, at all. I'm not loving it, but I'm only 41 pages in, chapter 3, so I'm gonna give this a go today. I really don't have initial thoughts. It does have some like really cute pages in it though, like part 1, and then it has these little envelopes. So she's sending emails back and forth to her cousin. Her cousin sets her up on this like dating site, and then she starts getting messages from some guys. It also seems like she's like emailing a couple of other people as well, but anyway, I'm just going to continue reading that. But the other day I did finish Booked on a Feeling. So we're following Izzy, who is a lawyer in LA, and she ends up having a panic attack during her trial. She makes it through that trial, she wins it, and then she decides to take a 3-week vacation in this small town where she spent her childhood summers with her best friend Jack. And then while she's in Weldon, which is the name of the town, there is a local bookstore that kind of needs a little bit of a revamp, and she volunteers to help the owner kind of revamp it with decor, check some things off of the to-do list, rearrange furniture, things like that. So while she's out shopping for a door, like bell, like above the door type thing, she runs into Jack, and then she coerces Jack to help her, you know, put up the doorbell, and then he ends up helping her with other tasks as well. So as they are working in his bookshop, they're kind of falling in love. He's loved her for, you know, her whole life, basically, since they were like around 10 years old. But the problems that I had with it is that I really didn't feel their friendship vibes, and I really didn't feel their chemistry. And so not only was I not like loving the characters, but I don't think it had that strong of a plot, other than, you know, it's like something, they're working on the bookshop, but not a lot. And then it's really about, it has like messages of like family expectations and following your dreams, and, you know, finding out what you want to do in your life, and, you know, kind of all of those things that I think you would do in your like 20s, early 30s possibly. Yeah, but it just wasn't particularly for me. Now, this is the third book in the series. I don't know if there's going to be more, but it follows different characters in the first two books. But I mean, if you're interested in a friends to lovers where they work in a bookstore and slowly fall in love, well, Izzy is slowly falling in love with Jack. Jack's been pining after her for years type thing. So there's a lot of pining in here. Another thing that kind of turned me off a little bit was the writing. Usually in romance books, if you're going to get both perspectives, it's very clearly divided, like there's two narrators, or the chapters are in dual POV, or something like that. Like one would be in Izzy, one would be in Jack. But in this one, in the same chapter, there would be different POVs like mixed in. I don't even know if I could show you an example because it's not really like marked. Okay. So chapter 4, it's just going along, and then all of a sudden it will switch. You'll have like this little squiggle line, and you'll be in Jack's head. But unless you're reading along in the physical book, you're not going to realize that you're going to switch perspectives. And there's only one narrator on the audiobook, so it was hard for me to track sometimes, because I'd be, you know, listening and stuff like that. Sometimes I'd be reading physically, sometimes I wouldn't. And then all of a sudden I would be in a different person's perspective, and I'd be like, wait a minute, I'm not in her perspective anymore. I'm in Jack's perspective, or I'm in Jack's thoughts. And it was just kind of very hard to track in that way. But I would say go ahead and give it a go if you're looking for like representation, like Asian representation. And then this is like a Korean American romance story. So yeah, it's always nice to read like diverse authors, diverse characters, and all of that. It did have really great descriptions of food in here though, so that was really cool. Okay friends, I really tried to read this book. I just can't do it. I wasn't interested in picking it up at all yesterday after I reread like the 30-ish pages that I read the night before, and then I gave it a shot yesterday. I wasn't compelled to ever pick it up, even though I pretty much didn't have anything going on yesterday. I mean, I did have a lot on my mind and stuff, but I was just never compelled to pick it up. And then today I tried once again to get into it, and I don't like the writing. I don't like the narrator. I don't like the characters. And so I am going to officially DNF this, which is so sad because I think the cover is so cute. But that is the end of my X's and O's TBR. I did manage to read all of the prompts despite DNFing this, because this was to fit the prompt pink on the cover. And I believe all of the other books that I read, Set on You, X's and O's, and Booked on a Feeling all had pink on the cover. So I just doubled up on that prompt.
Woo!
We're live. Hello. Welcome to the last set of reading
Cheers.
spreads for Readathon. Yeah, cheers. Here's my cream soda.
Oh, yeah. Here's my sparkling water. Hi, I'm Gwen. My channel name is Gwendolyn Kinsinger, which is my name. And tonight I'm going to be reading This Might Hurt by Stephanie Warble. I just started it earlier today. I'm on page 4849, and I'm actually really liking this one so far. I mean, I know it has a chance to go downhill quick, but for right now, I'm really enjoying it. I didn't read Darling Rose Gold by this author yet. I do have it on my TBR, but I'm reading this for a secret TBR, but it also has pink on the cover, so it works for the readathon.
Question: are you reading that with the bookmark that you stole?
Let me check if I am. Oh yes, I am.
Oh,
I have that
Pay
one.
for that book.
She left it in this book. It's the one from Jacqueline's Patreon,
Yeah.
whatever. But she left it in here, and I was like, "Well, that's my bookmark now, Jessie."
Finders keeper.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for participating. Thank you for hyping up this readathon for Jessie, myself, and all of the other co-hosts. I had a lot of fun despite kind of getting a little bit busy in my personal life, which was kind of unexpected. But that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all having a lovely day or night, and I'll see you guys again in another video very soon. Bye, friends.